Nope, hold on a second. There we go. Alright, we got one there.
Yeah. There you go. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Just a little bit. Although I expect when I'm driving around these days to see more snow. Or like I expect to see more snow. And obviously that's just not happening yet.
Today was nice. Nice weather-wise.
Nice brisk. It was brisk. Right? You think it was brisk?
Huh?
Brisk. You think it's brisk out?
It was, I thought it got warmer today.
A little bit, maybe?
It was nice. Yeah, it's brisk out there now.
Okay, how are we going to do this? Maybe I should sit down and then put the crutches down?
Yeah.
You think that'll work? I should have this figured out by now. Okay, now we get to put these down.
Hey.
Cheers. How we doing?
Good.
It's been a while.
It has been a little while. We've missed you.
That's right. And we're going to celebrate a little bit. We have the holiday season in the air. You can see the Christmas tree back here. I think there's some nutcrackers back here. I thought I saw a couple snowflakes today.
Really?
I thought I saw a couple. I wasn't not entirely sure. Maybe it was rain or...
It was supposed to be up to 60 today.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But last weekend we had some snow. It was
did.
nice. We got
We
to
did.
spend some time outside. And I don't know what you all did for Thanksgiving, but we roasted a turkey. We smoked 2 turkeys. We did a couple briskets. And we did 4 racks of ribs. And so it was a very meat-heavy weekend for us, at least.
And it was all delicious.
It was very delicious.
All delicious.
We're getting to be very good at this, too. So.
Well, you and the smoker.
No, it's a team effort.
But the sides were very good, too.
We had to bring in extra help from Florida. We had to bring in extra help from New York.
New York.
Right? And so the more hands, the better.
Yes. Thankfully, Chad got a little lesson last year.
He did.
So he could help more this year.
He's so eager, though, right? I mean, when I wake up in the morning, I just have to walk upstairs, and I don't even have to say his name this year, right? He was already, dressed, ready to go, looking much better than I ever will, and was ready to smoke some turkeys. So,
yes.
Yeah. And when I'm hobbling around outside on crutches in the ice, more hands the better.
You were doing pretty good at delegating.
I learned from the best.
So, delegation this time. I usually do the cocktails, but Jon did them today.
Yeah.
And they're beautiful. Rudolph Spritzer.
That's right.
They've got little raspberries in there that sugared raspberries that look like Rudolph's nose.
That's right.
So, cheers. These are good ones.
Those are good ones.
They're really good. You have to post the recipe later.
I can do it off the top of my head, but yeah, we will post it later. But I gave you a couple options, right? I gave you cranberry mimosas, and then these, and
I just
and
picked
a couple
Rudolph
others.
because
It's Rudolph.
it's Christmas.
Yeah.
From now on, we should have Christmas-themed drinks.
I like it. Actually, I would like to go back to those coffee and hot drinks that we did at the beginning of the year.
We actually have somebody that has watched us sent me 2 recipes.
Oh yeah?
Yes. So
Very
Ann
good.
Bosser, your recipe for drinks is coming.
All right.
And I think they might, I have to remember, I think they were both coffee-based.
Okay.
They looked really good.
Even better. But the reason why I gave you those 2 options to pick from is that they have champagne in them. And the reason why we're going to have champagne in our drinks tonight is that we have something to celebrate.
Okay.
So, for the past 2 years, if you wanted to visit the Birdie Brennan showroom, you went down to West Spring Street downtown to the Park's Edge condos, and you go up to an apartment. We won't announce it here, but you get this beautiful skyline that you can walk out and see. But then you also are able to see all these different closets and the features that we do.
Yes, we lived there, but we did every closet in a different color. We had different style doors. We have different style handles, knobs, accessories.
Yeah.
And then some just ones to show that we don't put in place, but
Yeah.
it's really good for somebody to come that is interested in closets to touch and feel and see what it looks like at the end, see the different accessories.
Yeah, you have to see it in action. That's what I think, right? Because when you talk to people about, okay, well, you could use this as a sunglass drawer, or you could use this as a jewelry or a belt or a watch. I mean, maybe they can picture it, but when they put their hands on it, they pull it out, they push it back to the soft close. It makes an impression.
We've sold quite a few ironing boards.
Yes.
Because they see it. It's behind a door, a drawer front.
It's almost like opening a present, right? Depends on, I'm talking about like you open it, it comes flying out at you, right?
Yes, yes. And some people like to iron.
Yeah. Which reminds me of the story of me almost getting April an iron for our wedding present, and I was talked out of that very strongly and very quickly by Lindsay. But anyway.
I think we all had a hand in an iron for a wedding present.
Yeah, it wasn't my best. I've been presents.
It's better than black socks for a birthday present.
I did that too.
Not that great.
Yeah.
And we've actually, in our master closet, we have licorice, which is a really, really dark gray, almost black, but with wood tone, and falcon, which is a mixology color, drawer front, and mudroom handles. And we've sold that combination a few times just because people see that combo and like it.
Yeah. And I think it's even some of the small things, right? Like, again, in the master where you have a piece of top shelf that runs around the entire outer wall of the closet. And again, you can talk to people about that and you can say, listen, we think this is a really good idea because it's seamless. It's going to have a nice cap on it, but it also provides all that extra storage up there as well. But again, when you see it, it has that little lip overhang. I think it makes a bigger impression.
I think for me, that's like a contemporary crown.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to put crown molding in our house, but I think that's a great contemporary finishing touch.
Yeah.
And people, like you said, if you tell them, they don't get it, but when they see it, they like it.
Yeah. And so, from the entry closets to the master bedroom to the pantry, laundry, office to the Murphy bed, all that stuff, we've had a lot of people walk through that showroom, and sometimes it's multiple visits for them. But again, wanting to be able to example and experience everything that closets can really be going forward.
So before your time, before we had a showroom, we had wonderful clients that opened up their homes.
Oh.
When we had somebody that wanted to see the finished product, there were a handful of clients when we were done said, just use our house, use our house, which was super, super nice. We have
Absolutely.
great clients. Okay, so
We
now
do.
the next step.
We do.
The next step.
So, but I mean, Columbus is growing, right? And so if you live in Lewis Center, if you live down in Obetz or Orient or Canal or Lancaster, any of these places that we go and travel to, coming downtown to a place can be somewhat prohibitive, right? Some people aren't used to driving downtown, don't come downtown very often, or just you're tired at the end of the day and you don't want to go down there. So we are currently in the process of already designed it, but putting in place our next showroom, and that is going to be here in New Albany. So especially if you live on the east side of town to the north side of town, we're going to have another location for you guys to come to and still get that feel, still get all those experiences based upon seeing it in real life.
That's right, real life.
Yeah, real life. And again, we think it's important for our clients to be, welcomed into the family, feel that cohesion, feel that creativity as we go through the process. And again, seeing it, feeling it, touching it, using it is going to be a better example of that. Even though we've made changes to the website and made updates to the website, we still feel like this is the right path to go down.
So this showroom is in your home.
Yeah. And so I'm excited about that too. I've already started telling my kids, which you might be able to hear them in the background, like, this means you got to keep your room pretty picked up. I think they're going to come back and say, you want my room picked up, you should pay me to pick up my room. right?
Well, it's a showroom expense.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe they have a point.
I don't think that they are growing up to be accountants, so I'm not sure that they're thinking down that path just yet. So.
But we have a blank slate.
Yeah. We do.
You moved in a few months ago.
Yep.
And
actually, it's probably been more than a few months at this point, but
wow,
time goes fast.
Time flies. Yeah, it's December.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And we have a blank slate in really all of the closets.
Yeah.
Yours is a really unique shape, so we got to design something fun for that.
Yep.
I can't wait for the mudroom.
The mudroom's going to be really great. I mean, and I think we should take some time tonight to kind of go room by room to talk about like what we're thinking and go through the process, because this wasn't a conversation between me and you, right? John was involved in it. April was definitely involved in it. The boys were involved in it. So trying to understand what the client wants, what they need, and being able to mesh all those different things together. And we can start with the mudroom. I can tell you what's in there now. It's a dog crate, which has been there since we moved in. It is all my kids' shoes. I think there's a plant in there right now. So like it's
one row of wire.
Yeah,
so at least you can hang coats there.
Yeah. But it really is a drop zone, right? And in every sense of the word. And I know that you designed that space. So what were you thinking of when you?
Well, I knew shoes were an issue, and I knew the bags.
Yeah.
So I did do a bench so people could sit there and put their shoes on. I used one of our countertops that I've never used before, so I'm excited. And then each person has their cubby, and they have shelves. I think the bottom is open so that they're for shoes.
Yep. Well, let's pause there.
Okay.
Why does that make sense for families? Why open? Why not hide it behind something?
I just think easy, and with kids, you want easy. Yeah. Because if it's opening a drawer to put the shoes in, it just might not happen.
Kids and husbands. Let's not throw them under the bus, right?
And then you had a great flat wall on the right. And I know we highlighted a product called Symphony from our closet conference this year. It's been around for a couple of years, but they really highlighted it this year. And it is an amazing product for flat walls. Yeah. So I took advantage of that niche that you have. And it's going to be a big Symphony unit. Shoes, extra shoes. Yeah. Hats. Coat. Yeah. There's one at the top for a bag. So when somebody comes in, they can put a bag. I did the 3 little hooks for keys. And then below it, a hook for coats or additional bags. And
what I liked about that product in that space is it's a blank wall, but it's also in an off space, right? And so, maybe in designs past we just put a row of shelving there or another row of hang there or something like that. But this is going to be an eye catcher.
It's going to be an eye catcher for sure. But a lot of times builders will build master closets and one wall is flat. The door opens into it, but you really can't utilize that wall except for maybe hooks. Right. Or this product, it only sticks out less than 3 inches, so you can really utilize it.
Yeah. And they have different sizes, different configurations.
So we bought one for the downtown showroom. We can't forget about it. No. So a little one for there. Yeah. I'm excited about that too. Yeah.
And when April and I talked about the spaces that we wanted to focus on first, first of all, the floor is going to get redone up there, and so in virtually any room, closets will go in after flooring's done. So we wanted to make sure that was done. But also, it's a space that we're going to use 10 times a day when we walk in and out of the house, and so making sure that we focus on that is going to be really key. For every member.
Hooks for book bags, the coat that you're currently wearing. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Huge.
Okay. Huge. So let's walk through the mudroom. Okay. We have a coat closet that's going to be right there, and coat closets can be pretty standard, right? You can have long hang, short hang. You can have shelving for shoes. You can have shelving up top for storage items, which we'll probably use for those as well. But that's going to be right there as well.
Yeah, so many entry closets just have one bar, whether it's wire or one bar. Yeah. And we can For very minimal cost, turn your entry closet into an organized space for coats.
Actually, I was in a client's house today with Janet, and we had done some work in his home maybe 3 weeks ago, and we did a laundry room. But then he said, you know what? I just want these closets to be updated, and so we just found stuff that was in inventory, right?
Oh.
So it doesn't have to be this whole whole big process or anything like that. And so we were able to do those, and I saw them before we did them, and I saw them today, and it's amazing. I mean, it's simple, it's clean, it's straight, but it's amazing because everything has a home now, right? And you can see it on different levels or on different racks.
Yeah, most coats, if you measure, they're not longer than 42. So you can really double hang the majority of an entry closet and double the space that you have in it. I love seeing that. And
most doors are 80 inches standard, right? And so if it's pushed back and up, again, you have that top row that goes up behind the door, and then you have that second row that's going to be more at chest level or something like that. Okay, so that's the entry closet. Let's go down here.
I love this space too.
So what is this space going to be?
TV. I think media. I think games. I think blankets. This is where the family's going to hang out. So games, electronics, TV in the center, some decor on the sides, pictures, family pictures, frames.
Well, in our last house, we had those entertainment center built-in bookshelves almost with big cabinets on the bottom and the shelving and crown going up. And I can tell you that we really miss those here. I mean, it's been a long time, and games and like you said, electronics and pictures and some of the things that always had a home are either still in the garage or they're just laying in random places around the house. And I know because the flooring down here is done that that's one of the areas that we really want to focus on.
And I really like, you can take care of unique spaces because you have on the side where the ceiling comes down.
Yeah.
So I just mirrored both sides. They come down a little bit, and with crown stepping down, it'll be beautiful.
Yeah.
I used a different countertop here, one of our countertops, but a different one here.
Okay. Very good. Okay, so this will be good, and it will frame the TV.
Frame the TV.
And we've done a couple of those recently where the TV's already in existence, or they say, no, I'm going to put a flat screen on this wall. And so you just have to make sure in those cases that you're getting the right measurements so that the TV is framed correctly, but then also you can get behind it if you ever need to, right? Yeah. So just always thinking ahead a little bit. All right, so that's going to be the basement entertainment area. Let's go upstairs. We'll go to April's and my master. And you're right, it has a diagonal wall. He's got these two huge mirror doors. But then you walk in and it's got this strange angled wall. But it's a big space.
It's nice space.
Yeah.
We've done masters in your last two houses. So that was an easy thing, as you kind of know. But double hang, long hang. April with teaching school has a lot of dresses, so you need quite a bit of long hang, and then shoes. I'm just trying to utilize all the wall space. So I know a couple where there's angles. We had added a couple little hooks.
Yeah. Go back to my comment about the top shelf back in your master too. She has her wedding dress in a box that's in there, and that's a big box, right? And it's got a bag along with it. There's really no other place for it.
Up on top.
Up on top.
Even a lot of people that are downsizing and they have a lot less space, they have these tubs. So our closets are 14 inches deep, which is a really nice size, and big tubs will fit on it, but we've had made that top shelf like 16 inches deep for a few people, so that they knew exactly what they were going to put on their Christmas decorations, memorabilia, whatever.
And that's it. You said something there that I think we need to pay a little bit more attention to, and that's like the normal depth of 14 inches, right? That's not always standard, though.
That is true.
Depending upon where you go or who you talk to, or even going to a store, like the ready-to-assemble stuff that you can buy now, a lot of it comes in 12 inches.
12 inches.
Which you say, well, 2 inches doesn't really make that big a difference. But for hanging clothes, it makes a huge difference because the hanger is going to go into the back at that point in time.
Men's shoes, if you have large feet,
yeah.
they don't fit on a 12-inch shelf. And folded clothes really don't fit nicely on a 12-inch shelf.
Yeah.
That 14 is generous, and it is the standard.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, and we use 12 every once in a while because you need to in a space, but 14 is the standard, and it is the best for your belongings.
Yeah, absolutely. It's our standard.
And it's our standard.
Yeah, it's our
Sorry.
standard. No,
Our
good.
standards.
Yeah. Okay, so that's going to be the master closet. Let's go back. Let's go up to the room, the boys' rooms at this point. And I shouldn't skip over these things, but you talk about linen closets and pantries and things like that, and you can do a lot of fun stuff in those areas, but you also don't have to overcomplicate it.
No.
And linen storage, listen, shelving for
Shelves.
towels, shelving for bathroom supplies, things like that. You don't have to overcomplicate those areas. Okay, but go to the boys' rooms. So they used to have the sliding doors on their closets, which I don't like. In the last house, I think we took them off, right? Yeah, right, James?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so James says we took them off. And I think it makes a big deal because it opens up the space, opens up the room quite a bit at that point in time. So, with that, I have twins that have a room, and James has a room. There's snakes in both rooms. There's dogs in both rooms. There's a frog in one of the rooms. But when you design kids, or when you think about kids, right, we talked about shoes in the mudroom. What are we looking for with kids' rooms?
Again, easy. For the twins, we want it both sides to mirror so that everybody has the same. You didn't want dressers.
Right.
So, and that is a move that people are just across the board are making.
Yeah.
Minimizing the furniture in a bedroom and not having a dresser, having all your clothes in a closet so that you need drawers and shelves. And then boys don't really need long hang, usually.
Yeah.
So it's just double hanging, making most use of that vertical space and drawers.
I have had a couple clients recently where they've had daughters, right? And they said, well, the daughter's 6 years old, but she's gonna need longhand when she turns 16 or something like that. So they want to build in some longhand right now. I was like, well, I don't think you need to do that, right? Give them the double hang now, and we'll make it so we can adjust it when the time's right. We can come back and do that.
Well, we've done several with little kids, triple hang.
Yeah. Yep.
That's the beauty of our system. It's flexible. We can do triple hang for little ones, and then really the people can do it themselves.
Yeah.
Change it out. But if they're challenged in that way, they can call us, and we can come back and make it double hang, make it shelves. We can adjust it so it grows with you and matches your lifestyle.
Absolutely, right? And in some cases, that's seasonal, right? So we have longer dresses in summer or sundresses in summer, right? And so you can adjust based on the times of the year as well. Doesn't just have to be age of the person who's using the room. You talked about the twins having mirrored, right? I mean, it sounds simple, but again, it's speaking to who the client is and who's going to be using that space. And if you had kids, right, they fight and compete over everything, and twins are even more so. So yeah, making sure that they have that mirrored space was a big thing for us as well. Okay, so we're going to come all the way back downstairs, right, and we're going to talk about the kitchen. And I don't know how you
Save the most exciting for
I
last.
know. I did that on purpose. I took us right up and downstairs. So
Yes.
it's exciting. It's also something that we haven't necessarily done before. But I'll let you give your opinion on this. But I think what's great is that with the products that we have through Organizers Direct, with Spaces product or the closet product or even the garage product, not in the kitchen, but with that too, it has a lot of flexibility for creating the spaces that you want to see. And when we decided we wanted new cabinets, we did the IKEA, right? Like we went to IKEA and we looked at some of the things. But I had a little bit of a background and I knew what they were pitching, how it would fit together. And it just wasn't the look that we wanted in there. And what I would also say too is, you know, the other good thing about working with Organizers Direct is they're always, the term is fashion forward, but this should be like closet forward. So what's coming next and how can we build the products to be able to meet the needs of what's going to be coming? And I don't know if this would have worked a year ago, but I feel really, really good about it now with how you designed it.
It would have worked a year ago.
Okay.
But it's exciting. We are using Spaces, which is really the home office line. So it's building individual cabinets rather than using closet components.
Right.
You could do it with closet components, but I really like the Spaces idea. So we've done offices, we've done craft rooms with this. We've just never utilized them in a kitchen. So when you post that, I think it's an awesome way to do your home in something beautiful, but also show off the line. So I know April texted me once and said, do you think navy and white would look good together? You know, could we do a mixture of both? And I think that's when you maybe were at IKEA.
Well, it could be.
And I said, I mean, I think it could be beautiful, but we ended up with Cloud, which is a really soft gray color, but it is also like, it feels soft too. Like it feels a little bit suede-y. And then navy, we use Mixology, which is a line that gives us more flexibility and more colors in door and drawer fronts. So we used Galaxy, but it's a navy, and it's going to be beautiful.
Yeah, and the Galaxy will be on the bottom, and Cloud will be on the top.
I think Galaxy's on the top as well.
Okay.
But it just on the doors.
Oh, okay. So
just
so
on the doors. Yeah.
And we had talked about putting glass into the cabinets up top. We decided against that. We actually are going to be taking out a little piece of a wall.
Yeah.
So that it's going to open up the room much more. And we also had this like curved peninsula type thing that was coming in. And we decided to get rid of that as well. So that's going to be coming out straight, but we're going to keep the two different levels. And so with the Spaces, this is something you couldn't do with closets. With the Spaces, with the backing on them,
Yes.
they will actually back into each other. If you're doing with closets, there would be an open gap on this.
That we would just have to fix.
Yeah, on this perpendicular part. So I'm really excited about that. I think it's going to come together really well.
Yeah. Little by little. And I think we'll highlight it as we go along with this showroom. But the kitchen has been ordered. Not everything's been ordered yet, right? But the kitchen has been ordered.
The kitchen has been ordered. I think
maybe the boys' rooms?
I think the boys' rooms and maybe some like the linens.
And of course, we did everything in a different color.
Yeah.
And highlighted things that weren't available when we did the downtown showroom.
Yeah.
So, like I said, 2 different countertops. But I'm excited. I'm excited.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think it gives us as a company more flexibility to be able to show different things. I know it gives our clients the flexibility of being able to look at different places. And, I would also just, the simple fact of you and John live together downtown, and I have my crew with April and Jackson and Jared and James, and it's a bigger house. I don't know if it's a split level house, right? 5 level split. So I think it also gives a different feel about how it looks in different spaces. And I think that's a definite win for people coming to either place.
it gives people ideas that you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
So when you actually see it,
yeah.
you can say, can I have that?
Yeah.
And the answer is
always is.
yes.
Always is. So what we're going to do over the coming weeks and months is we are going to highlight each of these different spaces, right? So it will be talking about symphony and showing all the different ways it can be used. What's going to be highlighting the different colors. It's going to be highlighting the installers, Junior, Marco, Luke, Guillermo, all those guys, about how they actually put together some of these spaces, right? And then, just simple things from the different color palettes, which you can see on the website, but again, it's good to see in person as well. But we're going to have all these different little pieces and parts in creating stories and content that go around the creation of the second showroom. And then we're always going to be doubling back to the original showroom as well. So.
Yeah, when you say weeks, say months. Because our timeline is now
It's
8 to 10 weeks.
Yeah.
Which is shorter than a lot of other industries.
It is. It is.
It gives people something to look forward to.
And, at least right now, the factory, right, is going to be shut down for a week and a half around Christmas and New Year's. So that delays a little bit. That said, and I guess we're shifting a little bit more to timelines. We've been able to move people up on the calendar. So, when a client makes a purchase, right, there's a deposit, we put the order in, you get an email with an estimated install date. I want to say in 9 out of 10 cases, that install date moves forward, whether it's a week, whether it's 2 weeks, 3 weeks, something like that, almost every single time. And I know that can be a little confusing, but I also think that knowing what your install date is very helpful to kind of build your life around.
At least have a pending one.
Yeah.
So things to look forward to in the next few months.
That's right. Okay, so the Rudolph Spritzer.
A success.
I really like it.
I really do too.
I've liked all of them, but I like this one too. I might have to have the rest of the batch later on. Anyway, we'll put the recipe for this out tomorrow. We'll do some cut-ups with this video as well, so you can check it out on the YouTube page. You can check it out on the website, and we'll break it out for Twitter or Instagram and Facebook and all that as well. So,
we missed you, so glad to be back.
Absolutely.
Cheers. I haven't had a raspberry yet, though. I'm sure they're good.
Well, you know what? I didn't have cranberries.
What can I do?
I'll just hit finish.